Hey, this is Daniel Norton. I'm here in my studio in New York City with Erica.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk about the position of your subject to your light. So sometimes we talk about positioning our light to our subject, but now we're going to do the opposite. And the reason for this is because sometimes you're working with natural light, which we're not going to do. I'm going to use a flash to make it consistent. I added an L-Y on there. That's, yeah, who knows why we do these things. Anyways, luckily I'm not teaching you English, but instead photography. So yeah, I have a silk set up. It's a 4-foot silk. I have a Profoto head behind it with a Magnum reflector. So it's basically just filling this entire frame with light, creating a large enough light source so you guys can see. Oftentimes during my live demonstrations, I'll do this with a softbox kind of to show it, but I think this is nice because it gives you that impression of like a wide source of light. And if we have a window or something we're working with, actually let me just turn this slightly because it moved in the wind. If we have a window or something we're working with, we can actually create a lot of different feelings just by moving our subject within the light. So we're going to start with Erica basically in the middle, which, you know, if you have lit anything before and you have an idea, you're probably going to realize that half her face is going to be completely in shadow. So we'll just start that way and let's just see what it looks like. I'm using the Nikon Z6 and let's see what we get. Yeah, so this is kind of like split lighting, like light straight down the middle. We can see it's nice and clean. Of course, it's soft, right? So it's pretty, but it's, you know, it's kind of lit from the side. You can actually get away with this. Obviously, she can work towards the light. Let's just try that so we get, you know, if you got a window with the nice silk on it or whatever, you can work towards it and you can get nice kind of light wrapping around, creating, you know, that kind of side lit vibe. But if we take our subject, Erica, and we move her, let's say, all the ways to the edge of the window towards me, right? And we'll start again just straight. Just show you guys. I'm not going to move the camera or anything. We're just going to kind of, right? We can see that basically the light's behind her. But again, if she works towards it, she can get a bit of oh, let me do another one, sorry. Focus on your eyes, actually. Good. Yeah, we can get this kind of mysterious vibe, right? So we go from having kind of an open light, you know, kind of showing the face, to mysterious light. Well, actually, I guess it's more like this. You know, this is the straight shot, but if we wanted to do something a little bit more mysterious, that's how I would use this position, I guess, and this is how I would use that position, right? But let's go and look at if we take her all the way and move her behind the window. So now, basically, the light's in front of her, right? So it should theoretically wrap around more. So let's try that. We don't want to put her too far back because the light will hit her. The raw light will hit her, but let's just see if that's good. Because in my case, I'm not actually using a window. Now, there we go. Now we have, right, and you can tell that it's not the Magnum reflector hitting her by the quality of light on her. You know, it's a nice soft light. So here we have this nice soft feel. I didn't change my exposure here, obviously, in each one of these shots, but we will do that in a second. So you can get this kind of a bit moody kind of vibe, right? Moody. You can get this kind of very moody vibe. And then, or you can get nice and pretty, right? It really kind of comes down to what you want. Now let's start nice and pretty since you're there. Now let me make this a little nicer. I'm going to give myself 2/10 on the light. I'm going to move forward a little bit, and let's just shoot a couple like this. This definitely gives her the most room to kind of do stuff because the light's going to more or less look good almost no matter what she does. You know, probably even to the extent of, actually turn all the way to the opposite. Yeah, let's just see what that looks like. I think even here we can get away with it. We'll just focus. Good. Yeah, even here, right? It's not the ideal way to use this light, but even if she looks off to the side, we can still see that it covers her face well enough. You know, definitely the more straight on and the more kind of tilted to the side work best here. Yeah, it's nice and very clean. I mean, I got the light in the shot on that one, but it's going to crop it. I'm going to give it a little bit more light, actually. Let's just see what that looks like. Since this one is still kind of bright, I want to make it a little bit more punchy, so I'm going to overexpose it a tiny bit. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit brighter, right? Actually, it's funny. Her elbow is actually catching the raw light because you can see it. We can see the shadow. So come just a little bit forward. Yeah. Watch that a little bit. Yeah, there we go. We want that raw light just to go past her. Now, clearly, if it was a window, you wouldn't have this problem. And there we go, right? Nice and clean. Let's shoot a couple more like that. Good. 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 Nice. See, by the way, I'm intentionally cupping off your elbow because I love the comments that I get about that. That's one of my favorite comments. I read in a book somewhere that her elbow was cut off, then nobody will know how long her arm is. Good. All right. Nice and simple, nice and clean, nice and pretty. Easy, easy, easy. Works for us. Now let's get a little more drama. Right? So she's going to come up into the middle. Now, of course, if she moves further from the light source, this will also change. I'm putting it really close to really make it more dramatic, but you know, you can obviously go on that route too. I'll make one test shot here to check the actual exposure because remember I turned it up. Oh no, it's actually good. It's a little hot, but I feel like it has the right vibe. Let me just quickly check. Nah, it's a little hot. Let's turn that back down. Yellow pockets? Nice. Oh, perfect. Yeah, put a little pocket watch in there. Do we have pocket watches anymore? Like I want this one to feel a little bit darker because it has that darker feel. See how I did that? I want it to feel a little darker because it has a darker feel. That all makes sense. You know, and we've got kind of bright, then we got a little bit of mood. And of course the background, you know, helps here too. If the background was bright white, that's one reason why I didn't like the background separately. Because I wanted to get the different feels. Good. I'm gonna go a little higher, a little more top of the head. Okay, good. Good. Focusing. Here we go. I'm looking for a good frame. There we go. Nice. You were perfect. It was me. Yeah. She's so close to the light that I'm just trying to make sure I get the most use of it. But yeah, see, there we go. That's really dramatic, really pretty, really simple, right? I actually like this one. I'm gonna like them better and better as we go because I like the more dramatic. Yes. Yes. I love the drama. I'm a drama queen. Good. 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 One more. Last one. Here we go. Good. Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, this is nice, right? Nice and creamy. And again, this is a 4 foot. It's actually a half grid cloth by Chimera. So it's nice and big, has this beautiful wraparound feel. We like that one, right? All right, so come forward now, almost all the way to the edge. Yeah, and of course this one will primarily have to work back. And again, we'll do a test shot to see if we want to make a change to our exposure or not. I think here I'm actually gonna have you step a little bit this way. That'll give her a little more room to play. Also makes it easier for me. All right, just test. Yeah, now it'll work. I'm gonna give it a little more light. See, whenever I say that, I should just do one click instead of two. I always get excited and do too many. Let's do that. A little more. Now the thing is here, right, we use a light meter, right? We know that what our exposure is supposed to be, but remember that it always comes down to what you want it to feel like. Yeah, I like that. I feel like this one should be a little bit dark because it's got that vibe. Oh, showing off the zipper, very nice. Yeah, gotta show the zipper.
Gotta sell the clothes, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Gotta show the zipper, gotta show the pockets. Come a little bit this way because I'm fighting that frame a little bit. Good. Of course, the closer she is to to me, right? The more frame is behind her, so the more I have to think about where it is in my shot. Good. Yeah, these are got a nice moody feel. Go almost completely sideways to this. Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I am curious. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Maybe without the arm. And maybe chin down. Like do something with the, like kind of down and extended, yeah. Yeah, so we get almost like a silhouette-y kind of vibe. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, that's creating like a really cool kind of silhouette-y vibe. And again, you could, here I might turn the exposure up a little bit to create even more contrast. Because what it comes down to, again, is how you want it to look, you know? Even though the base exposure says it is whatever. Yeah, just that little extra. Just mostly adjusting the highlights. Yeah, that's pretty. I like that. Let's do a couple like that. Yeah. One more. nice. Slight changes to play off the silhouette. Actually, do like a double handy, yeah. Just really basic. I'm just curious.
One-on-one class.
Yeah, exactly. Do the one-on-one. Actually, do this, actually. Yeah, let's do the crossed arms. Daniel likes cross arm. I'm a fan of having it on. Yeah, there we go. Because also what ends up happening when you bring more skin forward is that we get, because remember, the outfit's dark. It's kind of absorbing the light, so it's kind of interesting. You're like, yeah, right. You know, somewhere around there. Probably one of these more dramatic ones is probably what we like. I like them all. All right, here we go. So we have that. We have, I guess, that. Let me burn out that one. We have that. There we go. And I'm trying to show a good example of each one, of how the light falls, I guess, and maybe this one where you're more forward. Yeah, like that. Okay. So if we look at these, you know, side by side, like we do sometimes, we can see that the same light, the same Erica, the same Daniel, right, can create basically three very different looks. I didn't even really change exposure that much. I kind of tweaked it a tiny bit, right? I made it like a third of a stop up or down depending on where she was standing and the contrast I wanted, but all I really mostly changed was where she was standing in relationship to the width of the light. Yes, this is something we need to think about as photographers, right? Don't just put the light up and point it at the subject. I think we actually did a video like that already with the softbox. I do that a lot with you, I guess. You know, because that's really the next step, right? The next level of the photography is to not just get the right exposure or think about the rule of thirds or whatever, but to really think about light in a more organic way and how light actually affects your subject based on where they're standing, where the light is, where they are inside that pattern of light that you're creating. And that will really help you create a lot of depth and also stuff that feels more natural, especially when you're on location. I mean, clearly we're just in a studio, right? But all three of those shots have a very different look and a very different feeling depending on what we're trying to achieve. So I will put Eric's information in the description so you guys can follow her. Be sure to follow me, Daniel Norton Photographer. Subscribe to Adorama TV and ring that bell so you get all notifications. And I'll see you next time on set.